Welcome, welcome, welcome. A little bit of a Thursday afternoon stream. I decided to pop on a few $100 on ACR. We're playing some 33 to $66 tournaments here. Nothing special. I think that we are going to have a decently short stream here because we haven't been getting dealt crazy hands. We have just been like chipping up. We did late reg these, not max late reg, but we did late reg these. I had some trouble with getting the money onto ACR. It was kind of a last minute decision. Um, I have been pretty busy all day, just doing stuff around the house, as I talked about on the last stream. I am currently starting a new job starting next week, so that is sort of in the works for me. Let's see if the stream is working. Looks like we're all good. Probably have to take the volume of the microphone up here, but we're good. Probably have to take the volume of the microphone up here, but we're good. I decided to change off. This is the mic I used last week. My Blue Yeti, brand brand new. So I have no idea why it is like so bad. I've like messed around with the filters on OBS too, and it's just like I don't know. I used it some years ago and was fine. I mean, it's like not a new mic because it's like years old, but it's just been kind of sitting on my desk. Been using it for like work. Um, so and like I haven't had complaints from coworkers or anything like that about noise quality. So obviously it's different when you're streaming. Obviously the quality has to be a little bit better when you're on call for work. It's nothing crazy. But let's just say nothing special has happened here. We are above starting stack in all of the tournaments here. We are about to be all in the 50. 55 was one of the like the most max late regged ones. So that's why we're pretty short. We bought in a 30K starting stack, and we've honestly just been like shoving or folding the whole tournament. So here we go. Ace King King Queen. As long as you don't have as long as you don't have a king, it's a great flop with the clubs. As long as there's no three outers here, we are good. We also have Ace King at the other table. Beautiful. Finally. Got some momentum in the 55. 55 to 70K straight up. The only tournament that's not a straight up that's going on right now here is the 33. This is a mystery bounty. Um, so a little bit different. The only hand that I think didn't go too well was me trying to bluff catch with kings on an ace high board. Got a three bet called, and then the guy check raised me on the flop with ace queen. Um, this is not a good flop at all for my raising range. So honestly, I'm just gonna check fold. I don't think there's any reason to do anything but check fold here. This is my common misconception. Oh, you have two overs and it's close to top of opening range. Like if you're folding here, you're folding everything. Like not really, because like I'd rather call here with like tens, sixes, no, or tens or sevens, um, jacks, king jack, king king 10, just like stuff that has potential to improve to nutted hands. Um, None of those hands have potential to improve to the nuts. Or ace king, sorry, ace king does not have potential to unless you go runner jack 10, which obviously at that point you probably wouldn't get paid because there'd be a straight on the board, unless that guy had a king queen or something. But yeah, the 66 been pretty aggressive. I haven't been playing back too hard yet. Um, been pretty stagnant. But they have been aggressive, so I think maybe I could fold these fives. I think there was just sort of like a click. Yeah, obviously now we can fold, but I think maybe for future reference, this is definitely a fold. Um, Obviously this guy was full of shit, so maybe jam would have worked, but oh, ace queen gets there on the ace king. Don't love to see it. Not a great turn. I could have bluffed three ways. It's actually a great bluff candidate. Um, if you were gonna find a bluff on this board, obviously like maybe besides like Queen Jack of Spades, Queen Ten of Spades, um, and maybe some like King X. This is actually a fantastic hand to bluff on this board on the flop. But once the spade comes on the turn here, we just can't rep anything uh, as much. They have way more flushes than we do with the king spades on the board, so you go from there. But now that since we double checked, we got two pair. Go for a small bet here. Maybe that'll induce a raise from an ace or just a bluff. But do want to go for some thin value here. Maybe we can go big because we're repping like a decent hand. Like we wouldn't at this point if we double checked an ace, like we wouldn't be betting it on the river. But we could be actually. I shouldn't say that. Um, if they raise, they're just repping flushes, um, or bigger two pairs. But honestly, two pairs would mostly bet on the turn. So despite the flush being there, I mean, unless it's like I don't know, eight deuce or something. But okay, I mean we're decent stacks in all in terms of spot. I mean, 66 is the only thing that we haven't had any momentum in yet. I think we're less than average or less than starting in this. I think it's a 50K starting in the 66. Let me double check that. Yeah. So we're actually just back to where we were. We were up to like 70K before stream. Let's go to the stream real quick and change the title because we are not playing the 4450K. That is a Sunday tournament. I don't even think there's any 44s on the mid wood mix. I haven't seen one. So I hope this mic's it's definitely sounding a little bit better. Sorry about that, guys, for the silence. We are currently on break. I am just sort of um, putting my stream together here. Going to take a small break here while we have 4 minutes and 16 seconds to go. Be right back. Hello, hello. How we doing? Yeah, so basically, um, what has happened? I haven't played any poker since the last Sunday stream that I did, whatever, a few days ago or last week or whatever it was. I think it was last week. Um, I started a Club GG club. If you follow my Instagram at all, I would have posted. I posted it on my story, archived it in my story, so you should be able to see it there. If not, just DM me on Instagram at DommyP for that one. It's pretty chill. It's just Venmo or Cash App or crypto or however you want to do it virtually, virtual money. Um, I don't think there's anything too complicated about it. This guy goes runner, runner, ace, eight of spades. Best hand pre-flop, but gets it in against two very pretty hands. What was I saying? So basically, it's rake is only for the bad beat jackpot. So I free rolled $100 into the bad beat myself. And then, because that's what Club GG requires you to do, but I honestly just gonna free roll the club for it. And then any like small percentage, like I think I have it like say like 1% or something, that will go to the bad beat. So I think it's like up like $3 right now. It's like super micro stakes for sure. Let's see here. 20 blinds, ace 10. We can just jam. I don't mind a jam here. But a raise call isn't bad either. Folding 20 blinds, ace 10, not an option. Unless you're against the right player. If there's a certain player that would be more prone to trapping, they play super straightforward, like they just fold or fit or fold, and then all of a sudden they raise blind on blind. Definitely can be alarm bells going off. In position is not a terrible hand to call trap. That's the thing though, is you got to realize that when you call with ace 10 pre for 20 blinds, off 20 blinds, you're trapping because you're at basically the top of your range. Well, your goal with your goal set in mind of basically you're going to be trapping when there's a board that's advantageous for the pre-flop raiser and you have a good hand. When in theory you should be jamming, folding, or jamming, three betting, raising yourself with those hands. I prefer that with the higher aces. That would flop. That most likely could flop two overs. Ace 10 all gets under the gun. We could fold or three bet. I'm not a huge fan of calling here. So that's like the mentality is, you know, you can flat trap with ace queen plus, ace jack plus, honestly. Ace jack is a monster hand for off of 20 blinds. 20 blinds is enough to have a 3-bet fold range, but you also have a jamming range too. A flat and you can protect your flatting range or your check back range by having the super strong hands in there. Because people are always like, oh, what if you're flatting with like those hands, like you're just gonna get run over because you never had the strong hands. But you could protect that. Like you could flat a ton of strong hands there, a ton. So yeah, we got tens in the big one. This is the one that I do want to run deep in. I like the bigger buy-in here with the smaller field. Got a nice flop. It's the first set we flopped all day, actually. Oh, no, sorry. Earlier, I will say this. Earlier, we did have a hand where I flopped it set over set, and I ran out 4 to a straight flush. Oh my god, if we check back, we had quads. That is, because that's a spot with the SPR being a little bit lower with the 20 blinds. We could check back. But he's just not going to fold a draw or a queen. Like, so much to get value from on that board. So, not to be results oriented there. It sucks, but maybe aces, or not even aces, kings. I think you just bet range there. Maybe check back queens if you're going to have a, like, check range on that board. You just don't have a check range on that board. At the stack depth, you just see bet everything. Like, obviously, you just had the best hand. Like, you had the range advantage and nut advantage. Like, they just don't have queens and tens. Like, maybe not even now. If it was a 4, right? They don't even have fours. Like, they're technically really still supposed to fold that. If you're being theory-wise, they're not supposed to have fours there. But if you're trying to go, like, exploitative, I'm trying to build a huge stack in these tournaments, like, don't care about the min cash, like, you want to gamble it up, like, absolutely flat there. Or check back there with the 10s. Because then, like, obviously you're risking the whole, like, okay, now it's going to come like what it just did, like, with the jacks. Like, the guy check-raised me on the flop. It was jack. I c-bet with jacks. It was jack 9-3, 2 clubs. Or jack 8-3, 2 clubs. And I c-bet into 2 people, and he check-raised me onto the small. And I didn't want him to hear fold the jack, so... And because we were decently deep. I think it was in the 33. 17 blinds or fold fours. And was it the 66? No, it was the mystery bounty. And it was against Indo Skovic, yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, anyways, I flatted his raise with like 2.5 SPR behind on the Turner River. It was just such a dicey board. It was just such a dicey board to go around flatting a set on, but it's just like when you have top set, you're just blocking, like, okay, like he's left like he has a jack, like he probably has a draw or a set. I mean, if you have that logic, but at the same time, definitely want to trap there because I feel like on most runouts I'll stack a set either way. That's my rationale, is that like I think that on most runouts you're gonna stack a set either way. So like, why are you like, why wouldn't you flat there if you think that most runouts are gonna stack a set? Now, like if a club comes on the turn, like you're still like gonna get value from the set on the river, but yeah. Okay, finally got some decent. So we got top queen 9-7, 2 diamonds. We could check back this hand with the queen of diamonds in hand, but I don't mind a bet here. We fought a set after raising under the gun. This is going swimmingly. We'll let him check raise his draws. This is definitely a hand we're not going to slow play, because we can cool our other queens. So, not a great. That's actually a really bad turn. I just don't have any 9, so he should lead on this card a lot. But he could be, yeah, so he could be leading with draws and worse queens, so we just can't fold, and we're just probably not even going to be folding the river. Just top of range here. He has 6-8, got 6-8, but this is just top of range. Queen diamond is kind of irrelevant. I mean, just because you have the queen in your hand, but obviously not having, yeah. I mean, this is just an easy call. If he's got it, he's got it, sort of thing. He's got the 9. Yeah, see that? Obviously. Easy. 2 big blinds. See, normally I would jam here. You really should be. It's not 15 blinds. But again, decently polar range when you raise off 15 blinds. So, we'll see what we got going on here. 6,000. Would we want to raise stack off on draws here on the king high board? No. But we'll let him bluff one more street. How deep are we? We're at 12 big blinds. Yeah. And that's just a great, fantastic turn. Obviously, if he has, like, queens, sucks. But, or aces, I should say. Yep. And then we just have, he could have 10s, 9s, 8s here. And we could have misdraws. Since we're repping, like, we can just bet 3/4 pot here. And he's got ace high. He could hero us if he's got a pocket pair, etc. We don't want to go all in. That's like, it's like, oh, well, if you're repping nuts or nothing, like you should go all in. But I'm not repping nuts or nothing. I could do this with a jack. Also, like in theory, if you're like trying to see, I got called by ace high. If you're trying to get called by a range that is not strong, like he's not capped because he could have strong hands in his range, but the way he's played it at this stack depth, he probably doesn't. 11 binds. So basically what I'm getting at here is, if you are against a thinking player, and you would be trying to get ace high and stuff to fold, you wouldn't need to go that big in the sense for in order to get right prices on your bluffs. Like, okay, how often I have bluffs versus value, I could go smaller here because if he's calling every single time with ace high, he's going to be losing money if I'm doing the size with everything. But if you are trying to get called by ace high and you go all in, like, it's just an easy fold. Like, you don't. Why would you call for your entire stack with ace high? We don't have to, sort of thing. Could jam. Yeah, I don't mind a jam here. Obviously, if big blind wakes up with it, it's an issue. But yeah, hijack range, 22 blinds. This guy's been very aggressive free, I'm noticing. So easy jam. And not an easy jam, just a standard-ish chip EV plus EV. Maybe it's like plus, half a big blind or something, but it's nothing. It's not like a huge, crazy EV spot, but and like I can flat there. He's like just deep enough where you could flat there. The only issue is you're just gonna get squeezed a lot. So, not a huge fan of like spots where you're just gonna get squeezed off your hand a lot. So. Chase Macker's 3-bets here in the 55. I could see myself jamming. I also could have raised bigger just to try to isolate this Eureka guy because it just reopened the pot. And this guy definitely could be flatting with a big hand on the button here. So, yeah. Be kind of an awkward spot if he jammed. I'm not sure if I'd rejam or just flat because like just flatting opens up the door for him to like price him in, but at the same time like he could be trapping. So. Not terrible hand to check back with the ace of spades in hand. You're not worried about a spade turn. 4-5, 4s and 5s. Not decent turns or bad turns for us, I should say. Offsuit 4s and 5s. Just like favors the big blind so much. The question is, do we just want to raise stack off here off 23? No, we could flat. The aces again. Same logic as like reason I checked it. I just have like with the ace of spades in hand. He could be flatting ace 10, ace jack 2. Like could be 3-bets and gets jammed on. Not great, but and obviously we just lose all the 2 pairs and sets. Okay, so check. Aces and 3s with the 9. Our kicker does play. That's a big thing. So and it was just 2 pair combos. So we can go big here. Actually, we actually could jam. That's just gonna get called, but. I actually like a check. Let's see what he does. He'd block bets. The question is, do we jam? Do we raise small and call? Do we raise small and like I don't know, because I feel like we're losing value here, but we'll just flat. Let's see what he says. See what he's got. Oh, he got nothing. Okay. Well, obviously a raise would have just gotten him off a bluff, but. He was what we call thin value bluffing. That's what I like to call it. I have no idea why I c-bet here. This was a really bad c-bet on this type of board, King 962 clubs. For that sizing, I should say. Yeah. Definitely a big bet or check board. We were like, oh, it's king high. But against a cutoff flatting range, it's like, okay, he's got strong hands, like a lot of strong hands on that board as well, so it's more so pressing your aces and aces, kings, ace, king set advantage, but he just has like as many strong hands as you do. Not the strongest hands, but in terms of amounts, the same amount. 2-2, and he squeeze jams. You could just fold, but I don't mind a jam here against this particular player who's been pretty aggressive. Oh, and he's got jacks. That sucks. This player's been like super hyper aggressive pre, so I think he's jamming smaller pairs there as well. So yeah, but definitely could fold there. I do think he's jamming small pairs there. 7s, 6s, 5s, and obviously he's just jamming all the aces that we are flipping against. So because of the presence of the smaller pairs that I think he has in this particular player pool, or this particular player who's been like super active, don't mind the rejam there with 8s. And obviously I don't think this Aryan guy was ever incentivized to flat pre with a strong hand, because there isn't enough short stacks behind for it to be worth it. If you have, you got your 10, 12 big blind stacks here that are like, they can rejam, like, absolutely, but like off 20 blinds, like 8s is definitely the worst. Like 7s, 6s, 5s fold, ace jack, ace 10 or fold, but 8s I think is just that cutoff for me. Like that is the hand that's the cutoff. Like the hand for sure. I think 7th I just fold. I mean, again, people say the same thing. Oh, it's all the same, right? Because it's the same hand basically. Because you're either flipping or behind, like. But it's in terms of threshold, basically. The EV of thresholds. So, not terribly in love with the jam, but not hating it. Sort of spot where it's like, okay, probably running into a flip or behind, but you're going to get run over if you don't take those spots sometimes. 8-6-4 offsuit. So this is a small blind flatting range. So contrary to what, and he does have all the sets in range. I have less sets. So I will check him back. But this is a fantastic hand to check call down with. I mean, it's just like you have turns like this. You just get him to bluff a ton. Now we can just go bet. Now we can just go big. Because again, we're just repping draws or an overpair, a check back overpair. So we don't want to get check raised. G and check raised wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. We have a draw as well. So don't hate getting check raised. And we'll just be going with this hand, obviously. Like, that's the thing I don't mind, like, with this particular hand. And we just have a straight flush. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a straight flush in our hands. Check is... I mean, with the backdoor hearts getting there, we can't go too big. But, we will. Because I have a straight flush. We're going to be check jamming here in the 33. Obviously, I don't think he's going to fold the way he played it. We didn't get paid with a straight flush, but we just have way too many outs not to go with it here. We're not going to get paid if we get there with the flush anyways, so he just has queen 7 suited. We get there. Beautiful. This is what I mean, though, with hyper aggressive. Like, he obviously just raised queen 7 suited in the hijack, so queen... could squeeze here, but then we get back jammed on. Not great, so obviously flat. Yeah, the good thing about flatting aces, or ace in the big blind, is that you just sort of like super under-repped when it comes to these sort of things. We are running good today, guys. We had a straight flush, and now we just flopped it straight against the same player. So running good in the 66. Now, again, the reason that I went pot, and like obviously I was sort of starting to contradict my logic a little bit, was I would never be value betting a overpair there that like I was repping on the turn. So when I bet the river, I am just repping a flush, a boat, or nothing, like just stone nothing. So like that's the main thing. We'll be going for 3 streets here, so 9-9 leaves us. We'll go a little bit bigger. Checking the ace here, because you definitely could be checking back an ace on the turn. Just a fantastic run out to get paid by an overpair. Leaves us half pot behind. He's not going to fold very many hands. Here, he's got his beat. So, are they bluffing here? What do they have for bluffs? We have the 4 in hand. Not great. We'll call to see it, but I don't think we are good. Oh, we are good. Just have nothing. Okay, good. That's actually a kind of a spot where you probably could fold. We just have the straight here. Obviously, we want to get paid. 10 turn, not great to get paid on. You could definitely like be hero folding over pairs now because I could just be like check raising. I could be check raising 10s on that flop, so not a great turn to get paid on. But clearly had something. Maybe you just had a non-believing pair or an ace high. Great turn for us here, and obviously we can just bet. We could go smaller than 3 actually, but don't mind 3 as the generic size. You definitely should be c-betting the flop. I was just embroiled in the other hand. I like my sizing on the turn. I think I got max value. Definitely like my sizing on the turn. Just set up for the nice river jam on the river, half pot on the river. Again, like there wasn't a ton of rivers I was folding on. Maybe a jack. Like a jack. There wasn't a flush draw. Maybe a jack of clubs like that completed the backdoor flush would be like a hand. It'd be like a spot where I just check call and I'm just not folding still. Just like on that like half pot left, like having a straight like. But you might ask yourself like, oh, like if he has the overpair, like he's just gonna check back on the river. So it's like, what do you beat? You beat nothing, but you just can't go around folding straights, you know. And it could be chopping technically if you're, you know, if you had a pair plus straight draw 7-8, 7-9, and it's just like straight over straight. You get straight over straight, runnered. Again, sort of thing where it's like, hey, in live poker, absolutely can be making these folds. You know, like you can definitely be making these folds in game with live players that don't bluff at a frequency or will not. They might even check back a jack in fear of the backdoor flush. Like those sorts of players that you find at the lower stakes tournaments, like absolutely, you can like check fold. Again, a guy never bluffs. Like if you have a guy that never bluffs there, like he might just have like queen 10 and just like hit the straight, or like queens, because he's like, you know, he's not gonna bet aces or kings on the river. So top guy turns 2 pair. That is not very fun. We're running pretty good. I will say that before the stream it was pretty dull. I had that one hand with kings that I definitely misplayed. Definitely should be folding prior to the river. I check called. I bet called a raise on the flop and ace high drive board with kings for a 3-bet pre, and then the guy just like this guy right here that I just got lucky against, the Alyaski guy who's been kind of owning me today. He that's what he had. He had ace queen, so he just played it. He played it like perfectly. He has not. I just been kind of getting lucky on him, so yeah, I can't complain about getting lucky. But at the same time, it's like, okay, I gotta make sure like how do I combat this? The way I combat this is being balanced, so that he does make a mistake or tries to bluff me or value owns himself. Gotta stay balanced. I think the hands that we played so far have been pretty standard. Obviously, like the king's hand not standard at all. When you like 3-bet pre and like get called and then like check raises you on the flop with a polar range, like when you 3-bet pre and then you get jammed on, or sorry, when you 3-bet pre off of like, I think it was like 30 big blinds or so. I think it went 2 and then I went 5.5 off of like 32. And then he check raises you. I would go 2, he went 6. That is the definition of a polar spot. So basically what he's doing is, it could be what's called a one and done, where he has literally nothing, or like pair and backdoors, backdoor straight, backdoor flush sort of thing, a pocket pair between the ace and the 7, for some like value bluff protection sort of thing. But at the same, or it's just like, it's what he had, which is just ace queen that's like raising getting it in, because it's just like, okay, off of 30 blinds I have top pair, second best kicker. But again, like it's never like a merge bet. It's never a merge there, because you're only repping an ace or nothing when you check raise there, because most of your range still wants to check call. Now, that's where my game differs from his. Is he clearly was going for max value, trying to cooler a smaller ace that 3-bet pre, um, thinking that, hey, the only thing I lose to is ace king, so that's fine. However, if you want to stay balanced and you don't want, and let's just say like I had king queen of diamonds and the turn came a diamond, and I 3-barreled, try to get him off a weak ace. Like, that's how you protect your range, is like you just call those strong aces. Because like, what other stronger hands do you have in your calling range if you are raised calling off with one pair like ace queen? Now it could be just the weak aces that you might like fold to, but like I I like his play in terms of, okay, and now I can cooler the smaller aces. But my strategy when it comes to that sort of stuff, and this maybe just comes from a lot of the live stuff, is protecting that range. 2 overs. I love when the guy c-bets into nothing with 2 over cards. King 7 of clubs holds. Do have to make a note that that guy did c-bet into a dry side pot with nothing. So yeah. Let's see here. Let's go back to the previous hand. How much did he bet on did this guy not have much behind? Let's see on the flop here. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Scratch what I just said, guys. The guy had less than half pot behind. So you're not really doing anything. You're not really doing anything. This 55, we are getting close to the money, I think. Yeah, we are 10 away from the money. So these people will not be jamming light, but we can put pressure. We are one of the bigger stacks. Unfortunately, we just have pretty terrible placement. We have with these bigger stacks on our left here. But we do have a really good stack in this 55. I kind of forgot how we doubled up here. I can't believe we only have 109k in the 66. Like, that's, I just not been playing right. I had a straight flush and a straight back to back against the same player. And then obviously just getting there with the combo draw against 2 pair was lucky here, so that's why I got 300k. Yeah. So like, I just have the stack to contrary to popular belief, like, oh, we have 33, like, but like this spot, like, we could just apply so much pressure. You know. The thing though is like, so this guy folds, we will be calling any of these people, unless it goes raise like jam or something. Obviously not doing it worse with, see 195 to 188, so we got 7 to the money. Yeah, they're just like not doing it with a ton of hands. All right, now we'll be calling anything. This guy min raises, we'll just jam. Yeah, I mean, we're just calling anything at this point. Yeah. We'll give this guy a few minutes out of courtesy. We're not going to use any of our time bank for him. But we just have too good of a hand to fold here. 8's way too good of a hand. We're just beating smaller pairs, you know, ace-x, because like he only has 10 bigs, like just 10 bigs, 10 pocket eights, is super standard. Ace 10. We just got to hold for a decent pot here. As long as there's no ace 10 on the river, we're good. We're good. Got a good race to win. Knock the guy out before the money. My thought with that Jack 4 suited hand is I did not think that I could navigate post flop with that hand very well. That is actually a fantastic hand to 3-bet off of the 23 blinds ish. I'm just not a huge fan of it at that moment. Because obviously you can't be doing it every time, because then you'd be 3-betting way too much. If you're doing that, like you're just I'm 3-betting Jack 4 suited every time I get it. No. Definitely should be a call. Yeah, probably should be a call though. I don't think I should be folding though. I think like a Jack Deuce I fold, but no, I don't think Jack 4 is a fold. Just like at the smaller stack depth, you're more okay with stacking off with pairs and draws, so off of like 20 something blinds or whatever it was, 25 blinds. I mean, even so, it's not great. Like, you're just not loving it. Well, we are a fantastic stack in almost every tournament, so we're running much better today. not running great in the sense that it took me forever to get the money on, and like I'd like put in like 3 tickets to the ACR, they still didn't get back to me. All of a sudden, like my money just showed up, and like my cashier was not working. Like when I go to like open my cashier, it just was not working. We aren't in the money yet, so we can raise. This guy just incentivized this 22 big blind stack to play. Like, if he doesn't care about the mid cash, maybe a little bit different, but we just have a really good stack in this tournament. So this guy's incentivized to play pretty aggressively, but nothing crazy. So ace king king. This is actually a board you want to check back because you do have the ace advantage and you could start some bluffs, but like it's one of those boards where you're just so ahead most of the time that you want to just check back everything, and that's what I take on this board. So I'm gonna check back. Now if he hits a 6 outer or whatever, that's fine. But that's a great turn. We just turn a pair, so we beat any queen highs and 10 highs. Can we start a bluff now? Absolutely, we can in this spot. I honestly want to check and let him bluff the river. And if he's got a 10, he's got a 10. So now, do we try to go for thin value? I think the answer is no, because we just don't have anything we're getting value from. Yeah, so he just river the 10. It's unfortunate. We could bet the turn for some value. But again, it's like one of the spots where if you're going to fold out the junk like that and only get called by better, I mean, maybe you get value from the queen jacks of the world, the queen 10s, but you did bet there, get check raised. Like you're like, what the fuck do you do? And like obviously, I like the line of check calling. 10. The 10 was the worst river. I would actually rather the queen, and obviously just like anything under the 9. But the 10 was the worst river because that's just like, okay, the 10 highs get there, and the 10 highs are the like part of the range that we lose to, you know, over card of the 9. Everything else, like, okay, like I want to see like river to set, like we would have beat any of the undercards, so, or the weak aces. We didn't lose much in that hand. We just checked it down, so nothing great. Nothing too good. Wow, jammed a lot for blind on blind. Got snapped off by the ace. See if he can get there with the diamonds. Oh, but the 9 gets there. The jack 9 gets there for him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that is one thing that I have added to my game that's maybe a little bit different than what the solvers will say. I think the solvers would tell you to, like, c-bet that board at, like, a 1 big blind frequency, like a 6 or 5th pot. You know, 15% pot, 20% pot, like, because you just have every strong hand. Like, you even, like, he's still even, like, 3-betting, like, his stronger king queens and king jacks there, so. We have a sick one. 10s gets there against the queens with the diamond. Turned the gutty. We don't love seeing worse hands get there. However, if you're on the wrong side of it, you hate it. But you're on the right side of it, you absolutely love it. I don't even think we're even close. Yeah, we have 8 levels remaining in late reg. In the 66. And I don't even think we're even close in this one either. 6 levels in this one. 23rd blinds, queen deuce suited. See, this is where I made the mistake with the jack 4. We're still going to call with this queen deuce. Do we check raise on this board? No. We just don't have any of the strong, even when that some of the stronger draws. We can get him to bluff. Obviously, ace and king are bad turns, but we are going to get floated by the ace king anyways, so yeah. We have a little bit of laggage. See, that's unfortunate. That's a very unfortunate turn. We can just check fold on. Unfortunately, we are just like folding the majority of our range, but we just can't call a river bet. So, and he can just go for, like, he just knows that he can go for value with an ace here. So, one of those unfortunate spots. One of those unfortunate spots where you just hope for the 2 overcards, the 6 outs on the turn, everything else you're just going to be calling down on. So, not calling down, at least it's calling our turn bet. Like, is it get? Just sucks. I mean, I know it's like, you know, you're supposed to be like, oh, queen top pair is top of range. So, it's just such a bad turn and such a bad board for your flatting out of the big blind. Like, you just have nothing most of the time, so. Oh, it was like a jam there. I mean, not the favorite-ish, because when people can just call out of the big with like nice suited connecting hands and smaller pairs, like not the best thing in the world, but we're running good in this 55. That's for sure. Aces on nines back to back. But obviously, if we can get value, that'd be maybe a little bit nicer. So, and obviously, off a less than 2 SPR, we'll just be C bet getting it in. I hope he jams with his pair of fours, pair of fives, or draws. I mean, the draws are obviously less ideal, but we will take a jam from ace 10. That's obviously the most ideal hand to see, but we'll show him the aces. Give ourselves some cred here for running good. People often ask me what kind of image I want to portray. Depends on the table. I like to portray an image of what I think people will respond the best to at my table. If I think my table's super aggressive, like they're going to put me in tough spots, they're 3-betting a lot pre, like Millionaire Maker Day 3. That was probably one of the most aggressive tournament tables I've ever been at. A big blind jam here, Jack 10 off, Jack 10 suited, we're in there. Jack 10 off is Queen Jack off, I think we're in there. Jack 10 off, I don't know. Because again, like, not jamming worse jacks, like, is he jamming worse pairs? Yeah, but so we get 7 to win. It's just not enough. I think maybe 6, yeah. Yeah, no. No, not enough. Not enough good, not enough pot odds. Jack 10 suited, Queen Jack, we're in there. Because he does jam the Jack 10s of the world. What's it saying? I will portray an image of being sort of like a nit and not bluffing a lot, showing up with good hands, playing pretty straightforward. I'm not saying passive poker, but not like crazy sort of 3-betting with my normal linear range sort of thing. So that they will bluff me, and then I can bluff catch them, because I am not afraid to put in the nice bluff catchers. That's probably one of my main weaknesses, is I do bluff catch too much in smaller stakes tournaments when I know players just don't bet thinly enough for value on the river. So yeah. Wow, ace the worst hand backdoors the flush. Sick one in the 55. Yeah, move tables. Of course, we have a 904 on our left. We're 23 to 153, so it's not unheard of to have under bigger stacks at our table, but it'd be more ideal if we could have some of the smaller stacks where we can win some races, hopefully. We're running good, so. Changing the music up a little bit here. We don't need the intense music yet. We will put on the intense music once we are final table of this 55. So final table for this 55, guarantee us about $1,000. 1,500 entries to start. We will, let me throw that up on the screen here for a second. So we got 13,600 for first. I think we'll take anything that gives us back into profit for the day. So we'll take anything above 70th, I think. We did throw on 200 exactly. Now we're still in the other tournaments, so can't really complain. One thing I wish they didn't do would be to add the amount to your balance prior to you cashing. I think that sort of incentivizes people to just like fire at will with like PKOs. Like if they get a progressive knockout buy and then they're fighting in other tournaments, obviously great for the site to like make guarantees and get people in there more. But as a player that like wouldn't do that and as much, like I wouldn't want that. So ace queen turns, Broadway draw, 5s hold. Oh, that was a huge pot. Whoa, whoa, hold up here. Sounds like the Hunger Games. Alright, what's the... Wait, did I move? Must have got moved again because I can't see the previous hand. That must be my first hand I must have been there for. They got it in for 20 blinds in middle position with fives. Damn. Seven nine deuce all clubs. Just repping the overpair advantage, high club advantage here. With them being so freaking deep, we can just bet half pot. We did make a little pay jump here. Pay jumps are actually decent in these like smaller field guarantee tournaments. Like per 55, like it's not great in $16, but not terrible. I remember in the 33 we were getting like $8 pay jumps, but or not, even less than $8 pay jumps. A little C bet here. What's good about running good and like the definition of running good as well is like even when you're not making good hands in these spots, you're getting C bets through. Like ace 10 of diamonds, like that 7-9 deuce club board is pretty like monotone neutral, meaning like we both have just like the same amount of like strongest hands. You know, we both have. I have overpairs with the club more. Like I have the ace of clubs more than he does technically, because like most of his ace of club hands, more of his ace of club hands are gonna want to be raising. But like the offsuited like ace jack, ace tens in the world are still in both of our ranges. So, but like when you can get C bets, through on those boards, that's like running good as well. Like on top of like me, like okay, I got there, I won a race, I coolered somebody, I flopped a straight, I got there at a straight flush on the river, those sorts of things. Let's think of bluffs that we have on the river in that straight flush hand. Just nothing's over cards, no hearts that decided to just like go nuts. Pocket pairs, threes, deuces, good. Those are good hands to bluff. Queen over cards not bad, but because I don't think he's fighting ace king pre. And obviously we just hit the 9. We're just gonna get paid, so we'll call 1. See what happens. It's a blank turn. We have pairs to call with here, open enders that we have in our range. So this is probably just one of the worst hands we're gonna call with, so we can just fold the turn. Can we turn the flop into a bluff? Yes, but like we're just not repping much. Because we would just call with a lot of our 2 pairs there. And because I know that I would call with a lot of my 2 pairs there, I just don't. Because I can get away and I can protect my range accordingly. I don't feel as if like I have to raise my gut shots and bluff every time with that sort of stuff. So yeah. We do not have great table draws. That's the only thing that's not great right now. 2 overs and a heart. We could bet on this board. Just, I think checking's fine. He does have a lot of bluffs, but he just has all the 2 pairs, all the straights. Like, way better board for the big blind, and we'll just let him have it. Could have turned a lot of equity that hand. Not a fantastic turn either. You can have pairs on that board. You could have, like, I would check back all my strongest hands on that board as well. 6-3 as well. Knowing that that is a board that favors the big blind, so they're more prone to bluff or more apt to bluff it. Check 8 off. Probably could be a raise. I just these stack depths back here, not a huge fan of, and I've been raising a lot in this tournament. So the 423 is very quickly becoming a average stack. So we do want to get the ball rolling here. So the average stack being 18 blinds with 125 left is astronomically awful. We got the big blind rollback. I do like that we are still on the first bullet of all these tournaments. We will late reg these tournaments if we do end up busting. But we do have 35 and 30 blinds, which are, I believe, both above average. That is less than average. We should not be... this is a hand that we could 3-bet bluff, and we are going to. Not a great hand to flat with, because you're just going to get jammed on and, like, piss away money. But, like, you could be ahead of it, and then, like, if you get jammed on, it's not the worst hand to let go of. It is a pretty one, but... you could also get better aces to fold, like ace-10 and ace-jack, because your range is polar. So, and, like, do people bluff there enough? I don't think so. Late position, ace-6 suited. We do want a V-pip. We do want a V-pip because we just cannot fold the suited aces in late position. Now, again, definitely like a really strong 3-bet candidate, but I don't want to be overdoing it. 10-6-4, 2 diamonds. Not a terrible flop. We do flop middle pair with the ace, so if the ace comes, we do have a great hand because we will have 2 pair. 10-6-4. We could check or bet. Do we want to get check raised? I just don't think we're going to check raised enough on this board, so we definitely can get away with a bet as well. I just don't think we're going to get check raised enough on this board. And he could be check raising with nothing. So I will be calling one street with a check raise as well. Go from there. And we're just getting all the playable hands. So the question is, do we want to bet the turn? Because, so basically you're repping a draw and you're repping for protection. I'll bet. I think the 6 of the nut kicker is cool to have. Just don't think he slow plays aces and kings enough. This time I will be folding to a check raise, so. Yeah, so he check jams. Definitely was expecting that, to be honest with you. Once I bet the turn, I didn't like my bet. My turn sizing. Combo draws. Does he have enough combo draws in range to make this a profitable call? I just think not. I just think we have 10s that we can call with here. Sort of turned my 6 into a bluff on the turn here, which I don't like because we do have the nutted 6. I don't like that bet at all. I don't like it at all. Check, jam. Maybe he just has like hearts, backdoor hearts. Blocking ace 10. Oh, not great. Maybe he just has an overpair. Fuck. My read is that he has a draw, but no, I'm not gonna call. I just think that he thinks that I'm gonna put him on a draw. That's like the reverse sort of thing. Is like, okay, if he, I mean, unless he had like a massive like 7, 8 of hearts or something, like, he probably knows in his head that if I have a 10, I'm not folding because there's so many draws out there. So like, I mean, unless he like tried to like, if he thought that I had nothing and that he was trying to rebluff me off of it, but I could check back, and then if like the draws missed, I just wanted a pot control. That was the big thing. I just did not I expected the check jam at like a smaller frequency, but at the same time I didn't expect it at a super high frequency. Just the way that he like checked the flop. Like I have sets in range, and I feel like if I have a draw, he doesn't want to. I'm probably not gonna fold. So like, why wouldn't he wanna? Like, you can just see if it gets there or not. That's what I like to do personally. All right. I'll be folding to a jam. 25 is not enough to call off with 6s. Small 3-bet. Interesting. This is where I react a little bit differently. So small 3-bet out of the small should, in theory, be very strong. So we definitely should be folding most of our weak range. Calling is not an option here. Unless we just think he's completely full of it. So we'll just fold. Can't be results oriented though. But yeah. We're getting owned in the 66. We just folded. We would have been a set. We had to fold a pair, which we definitely could have gotten bluffed off of. Just off that stack depth, he's just betting most of his diamonds on the flop. Like, I don't really think there's a reason to bet on the turn there with the 6. I don't think so, personally, but I like the flat here. It does squeeze. Well, the question is, do we have stronger hands that we flat here? Is king no? Jack's 10s no. Because this is the bottom of my flatting range, I don't think a back jam is the worst thing in the world. So we will. Ah, yeah, it is king. Fortunate. Just because this is the bottom of my back jamming range. I just don't think I'm flatting strong hands there. So 33 mystery bounty. We got last level 12.5 big blinds. Not worth it. Give up. I know I said I'm gonna re-enter, but no, the aggression is turned up in all of the tournaments, so we do have to start, you know, being a little bit more conscious about our opening ranges here. Yeah, I mean, we're just getting kind of pummeled here, either waking up into people's top of ranges or getting bluffed off a bottom. One of two. Easy jam spot here once it gets to us. Yeah, I mean, I just, I'm definitely getting run over here, that's for sure. Sorry about that, guys. You just witnessed the obliteration. I will say that obviously compared to Sunday, this feels way more reggy. I haven't seen a single person just like make super egregious errors at all, so been more so me running decently to get to this spot. Is there any more tournaments you want to jump into? Is the question. Could jump into the 109.50k mystery bounty. I just not gonna get the player size pool that I want. Back below average stack in the this one just moved fast. People are busting out fast. Average stack is low. Queen, queen. Now, would we rather that in the 55? Absolutely, but always will take queens. Although, I will say, oh my god, we have queens off 17. This is a monster. On Sunday when we were making that super deep run in the, when we were making that super deep run in the 33, 75k or whatever it was. However, do we want to flat? No, not with these stacks behind. If we can just 3-bet to a normal size. They're just so deep. Cool. And he's got 6s. Ah! Fuck. God damn it. Ugh. You just know it's gonna happen. When you see like the lower pocket pair, you just know he's gonna get there. Can't even call 4 big blinds with this hand. 17.5 big blinds, 44. We could re-enter this, but no. I told you guys this is going to be a short stream. I'll double down with that hand. Yeah. Alright, we're on break. Let me pull up the lobby and throw the lobby in the bottom right. Be right back, guys. I gotta use the restroom, so. We're back. Sitting down now. There's not a great sequence there, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just played. I think I played almost every hand wrong. I don't think in theory they were like egregious plays, but I just think that I could have played them differently based on like what I do. I think I just tried to do what's theory based, which was like the 6 is ahead of most of the range there, but what happens if you bet and get check jam down? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, that half pot sizing accomplishes nothing because in theory, I mean, maybe you're setting a price with a draw or something, but that if you're trying to get value, like, you're gonna get called by every draw anyways. So like, why would we be doing that sizing? I don't know. Not really quite sure. Not really. I'm kind of tired of the mystery bounties, guys. I don't know. I haven't cashed many on ACR before. I cashed plenty on GG, but I don't know. Just not really feeling the mystery bounty. If it does fold to us, we will be V-pipping with this hand. Obviously can't call 13 big blind jam, just not good enough. I was kind of hoping it folded to me, because then I can V-pip with this hand. Could jam that hand on the button, but no reason to. I would have just raised first in, and this guy did something. Mostly just jam or fold with this guy. I mean, he could 3-bet super tiny. Yeah, now this guy's just jamming there too. We just haven't been getting dealt good hands here, and the blinds go up every probably 15 minutes or something. Nice to get on that OSS leaderboard for ACR. That'd be kind of cool. Otherwise, just pretty card dead. $82nd right now is going to pay 160, so... Oh, sorry, 136. Page up at 73. Let me do this real quick. Get this over here. This. And then I will get the lobby. So let me pull down... the other lobbies that we don't need. I go over here. There we are. I think you guys only really care about the places here, so let's just do this. I would love to get involved. 15-minute blinds, yeah. Which really isn't bad for an online $55 tournament. Can't complain. Only $5 rake is great too. Less than 10% rake is fantastic. Let's see what then. I mean, on this tournament, $5, 50. They made $7,500 in rake. And the only thing they'll lose to is a 9 or an ace. I forgot the ace. That sucks. So painful. And it's so painful the hands were being dealt. Can't complain though. This tournament ran great. I ran great in all the tournaments. I just think that the end there I kind of ran into some buzzsaws. Um, and obviously the queens versus sixes. You know, can never do too great in tournaments if you get too outed. But I also didn't have to be short like I was because of the way I played some other hands that it would cause him to do something like that. That's like a big thing about running, playing bad, running bad sort of thing is like, okay, you get short stacked, but then if you get cooler on your short stack, okay, but in theory, like sometimes you shouldn't have been short stacked because you either played bad or ran bad before that. Like sometimes just is the way it goes. Or like for example, in the 100, sometimes in the 100Ks, like I'll get coolered and then I'll have like nothing left, um, and then all of a sudden like I'll have nothing left, and then I'll get into this massive cooler spot where I'm on the right side of it, but I double up to like starting stack again. All right. Obviously we'll be calling a jam here. Easy call. Yeah, easy call. Probably flipping. Yep. 10-3-3. Not. That's actually a great flop for our hand. Oh my god. He's just gonna have like ace four there. Like, oh my god. Damn it. Well, we're out. 76. What was I talking about running great? Um, Stay tuned for a second here. Let's see if I can. Yeah, that was kind of annoying. I can Immaculate Reg is a 1650 10k PKO, but I just don't want to do that. There's nothing great for a while. I mean, the Boski is later. 55 30k is later. Or the long car, I should say. Yeah, that was painful. Yeah. All right, well, we got 76 or something. It's not bad. 76 out of 1500. You know, not bad. Kind of felt like a quick tournament, maybe because I don't know, just kind of felt quicker. All right, I guess I'll play some cash. I don't think there's any great tournaments today. Maybe I'll just try to run some up in cash. I'll play some 2 blitz tables and 2 normal tables. What would I play is the question. I don't know. Or I could just play like 1-1-2 table and call it a day. Yeah, we'll do that. Fuck it. What's easier to beat the online 1-2, you know? Playing short-handed online 1-2. It's great. Fuck it. Money's just money, right? Let's get rid of this. Alright. Alright, yeah, so let's just do that. We cashed 1 of 3, which is a fantastic cash rate if it was elongated. Hmm. So this is where you really get into theory here, guys. 1-2 is the equivalent of playing like 5-10 IRL. You know, you're playing against 5-10 regs. Uh, you're gonna get pummeled. You're gonna get owned a lot, but you can also do some owning and pummeling yourself. I don't feel outmatched in anything more. I think anything more than 1-2 online, I just get mashed in. Bankroll wise, I think I'm actually, if you think about it really, and you want to get into the depths of it, I don't think that being bankrolled for $1,000 tournaments is actually even enough for 1-2 or 2-5 or 2-5 NL or 500 NL. You really should have like 100 buy-ins. So you're talking what? Or you really should have more than 100 buy-ins. Oh my god. That guy bluffed a 10-3 and got there in the river. Holy shit. Damn. Damn, son. That's so bad. Canada, US, Brazil, Russia, Colombia. Yeah. Yep. What was I gonna say? Let me do this real quick and then adjust, but alright, how's that? This we don't gotta play shit out of the big, which is nice because don't really play shit out of the big in tournaments, but you kind of have to when you're sort of getting pot odds. There's not getting pot odds in cash games. This will be nice to chill. I've been standing for the past few hours. That's why you saw me at a different angle. I don't think I played great today, despite people are poning each other, I should say, as I always say. Okay, you know what? I'm kind of getting bored of this, guys. And when I say guys, I mean like just talking to myself here. Kind of want to just move on. Play some Blitz. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to play multiple tables of Blitz and just run with my 179 here. I'll do that. What's the highest Blitz that we got going on for Blitz? So it's 25 cents, 50-cent Blitz. We can do that. And just do 3 tables. Buy in for 59 each. 59.50. 59.75. There we go. Alright, we'll just do this. This is how you build a bankroll, by throwing your entire ACR bankroll onto one thing. We'll call. Alright, just check folded. Fold. Alright, let's get these pulled up. Blitz 1. So there's Blitz 1. Fold. Fold. Two. And 3. Oh, never mind. Try again. 150. 156. Guess that's not there. I'm gonna change it up a little bit today. I usually just play a 3-better full strategy in cash games like this. Like maybe super deep I don't in like live cash games and stuff, but in these I will. People play a little bit more straightforwardly because if they just have like a shitty mediocre hand, they just fold and move on. Like they can pick better spots. So you tend to not like respond to 3-bets too much, like in terms of fighting back with 4-bets and stuff, but decent flop here, I would say. Obviously just flatting. I don't think I'll be folding on almost any run out. Shitty river. Yeah. Great run out. I mean, I would have hoped that the whatchamacallit would help him out. The queen, hitting the queen. Check back the flop on h2. Probably should be betting, should have bet, but also kind of looks like I could have an ace as well. But definitely should be definitely should be. I honestly thought I was the OOP out of position player here, so I believe it should show either a profit. So here is a spot where we could 4-bet bluff with ace queen. I don't know about flatting, but I also don't know about, yeah, I don't know. The spots always confuse me. Ace queen's such a good hand, like you don't want to get blown off of it, but at the same time, like if you flat out of position, like you're just gonna get blown off a lot of flops. So that's not one of them though. It's a really good flop actually. I say really good. There's a lot of bluff potential. I have all the sets and 2 pairs. But we will just flat. Go from there. Yeah, we'll just fold. Took the showdown with ace jack. And chop it up. Got there on the river. He wasn't going anywhere either. 2.2, obviously just a nice cool raise here with the ace jack of diamonds. I raise linearly but wider in these spots. As I like talked about before, people don't fight back enough, so it's more so a spot where you can sort of get away with more 3-bets. But I still try to keep it pretty linear. With no backdoor draws, I'm just gonna fold. I think with the backdoor draw, I could check raise there, but I just think with no backdoors, I'm just gonna fold. But that is a hand that you do not, on a regular basis, don't want to flat too much. We're gonna get trickier with the nines. Normally this is an easy 3-bet, but because you just like hand looks like so much like ace high when you do that, and like I would on the 10 deuce 5 rainbow board, absolutely I would check raise over pairs, any overpair. So it's more so like you want to do it with like overs in the back door, because like if you do get called, then you're just sort of screwed. You can be like sort of screwed out of the pot, I guess. Meaning like when you really should be in there, you're just sort of not getting the realizing your equity. Queen 10 6, basically a cutoff range. Oh, we can actually flat, keep worse aces in. 577. The question is, do I believe this? No, I don't believe it, but same time, nines not a great bluff catcher because you're blocking the hands that you want them to have. So yeah, here we go. Finally 3-betting with a good hand here. Oh, with 2 diamonds, definitely you can bet. Now this is a hand you can check raise with, the ace nine of spades. Nines here, we go. 9. We're gonna check because this is a way better turn for him. We have a lot of like overcards and then like pairs. He has way more sets than we do, and like obviously you can just induce a bluff. So that's quarter pot. The question is, do we want to raise? We can fold now here. Question is, do we want to raise? No. Yeah, shit river. Not shit because bad for my actual hand. It's just shit for value. And obviously there's a lot of bluffs that just got there. I mean, what's he betting now? 10. Maybe with the king of diamonds in hand, I just think we have to call. But I think this is probably 6-5. Oh, or just induce the bluff and got there. This is a great hand to 4-bet bluff. Half pot bet here. Complete here. Jack 8-8. We can do some third pot here. Definitely wasn't folding that. I think we're just all in here as a bluff. Obviously, if we had an overpair, we would shove, and yeah, obviously I would probably get a punt, but and he has trips in a 4-bet pot. Nice. Clearly can't put him on 8-7 suited when he calls the 4-bet. But he played it perfectly. Got me to punt. Got me to punt. Punting. Back to like $100 now or whatever. Raise 3-bet cold call. Call. I want to see flops with this guy. Obviously not. Don't want to see those flops with this guy, but yeah. All right. Let's get out. Well, Why might you ask? I had the ace three hearts there that I send it with. It has the ace out, and it has the ace out. Now the question is, does he have queens and kings as played? I don't think so. I think he has no kings. I think he has queens and obviously jacks. But everything else is in like a really tough spot, unless it's like trips, obviously. But like it's hard to put somebody on trips in a 4-bet pot. Curly just got a really good board. You know. I'm not in love with the way I'm playing today, that's for sure. I think I'm actually gonna stop streaming. I'm gonna cash out what I have here and let it sit there. 8-7 suited is actually a really good hand to call 4-bet with. Just like cracks overpair so often and cracks overpair so often. What the fuck? Just leads into me for nothing. Just raising. Yeah, it's just like when people they're just like testing the waters. Just cracks overpairs and like just it doesn't interact at all with my 4-betting range. Like even like my 4-bet bluffs like I had like just doesn't interact with it at all. So like when you flop the pairs and the straight draws, like usually you're in a good spot. So okay. These spots always get me. Whoa. I mean, if he's got a straight, so be it. Just like snap jams it in there. So be it if he's got the straight. Oh my god. He actually did have ace king. Oh my god. I can't believe I just did that. Wow. I don't deserve it. Hey, there we go. This is what you get for having the aggressive image. And now we can 4-bet. With the aces this time, not the ace 3 suited. There we go. I can 4-bet this time. Yeah. Super reggy. Ah, my god. God fucking damn it. Like when I 4-bet, like, I could call by 8-7 suited, but when I 4-bet with ace, I could fucking. Guy folds? Like. It's a great check Rizzle candidate. Pot it. There we go. Get the ace high king high draws out of there. Could get hit a fold again like 6s or 7s sometimes. And like obviously just getting the draws out of there is great. And obviously we're just repping a decent like strong hand, or like there's like so many of draws there that you just gotta kind of bet big. Even like I bet big there with like my 9x of spades and over pairs and 4s and whatever else I got. I got frisky here with the fives, just to, and we can bet super tiny. Just leads out on the turn. Call with the club in hand. I see, but that's any checks. Do you go for value? I think we do. Super thin, guys. Super thin. Oh my god. What are we doing? We're just geniuses. We're geniuses. Unbelievable. He's amazing. We're actually up now. We're somehow up. Like after just completely punting off like 80 bucks. Completely. I had no reason to do what I did. No reason. Now did he have trips? It's kind of lucky. Not gonna lie there. But like I did not have to do what I did. Like I could have just gave up. I could have 4-bet and then gave up on that board. Like absolutely. I'm back to being up somehow or even basically. Unbelievable. I cannot believe I got called by a king. That was awesome. I just thought like I didn't think he had me dead. So it was either a king or like ace of clubs. And obviously when like he bluffs and then gets there, I don't think he checks. So that's like part of the reason why I knew I had the best hand. Now it could be like a king with a weak club, like king 6 offsuit or whatever. Like that's clearly in range, but obviously if that guy would have been a king on the turn, obviously he thought that I could. And like I do have bluffs on that river, absolutely. So alright, well we can fold that. So 99 that we have I think we're down like $2. That's crazy. After punting off 80. Yeah. Crazy. We'll just stick with these two tables, I guess. People are super aggressive, so we're gonna have to respond accordingly. Won't even try bluff on this board, especially not on that turn. I think I just will call 3-bets later and kind of like just navigate post flop. So, and I'm okay with it. Like we're just like 200 big blinds deep. Like I can just call, and go from there. Not bad. Top pair, a decent kicker. Call 1 here. Club in hand. That's a great turn. Pots it. Ton of clubs in hand. I don't think we could fold. Pot. Snap pot. Do we have better hands here? I don't think so, right? Like this instead of the third nuts. I just don't think I have better hands. Queens with a club. Yeah. Can't believe bet the turn. It's so ballsy to bet the turn. Wow. Oh my god, he has a set of 3s. Jesus. Alright, well, we're getting off this table here. Back to where we were before all that amazingness with the 7s happened. Not cool. Not cool. Tilt off the rest of this right now. Cole's 4-betting Jackson getting stacked by queens. Yeah, not cool. Snap calls. Do we want overbet jam? Yes, we do. Okay, well, he saw a turn and then was like, nope, I'm out. Well, we lost like 80 bucks. Like aces with the club, queens with the club, king queen, ace king with the club. A lot of hands I lose to, but at the same time, like he goes pot pot. Like, I mean, I could definitely fold the flop or I could fold the turn. I mean, he just played it absolutely perfectly. He just played it impeccably. I mean, he just played it amazingly. Just like put me on like exactly what I had on the turn, like pots on the turn with like just the just queens, and like I could have a king so easily, like just potted it. 4-5 suited, we can fold or call. I think we'll call, but I know we're out of position. I think really nice board. Oh, flat here with the strong hands. Yeah, I mean we just have like smaller overpairs, jacks, tens, nines, and we just don't have any strong hands though, so we're just gonna have to proceed with caution. Or just get there. Hopefully the ace are. Yeah. I just think we're just gonna fucking run with this hand. 6 outs. $17. I don't know what that accomplishes from him. What's that doing? Is that an on the river? Yeah, fuck it. Get there. Yeah, let's go. Punt it all off.